Hello, everybody. We're getting real fancy around here. And I pushed the wrong button. It was supposed to come to me first, but listen, this is what I said. Technology doesn't work for me. So Heidi Foy with BullFrog Creatives, thank you guys for joining us live. If you are rewatching, we appreciate you also. Today, so we have gotten back to our college rodeo profiles, and we are today going to have another person on. So look at this. Here he is, Cody Hollingsworth with OSU, OK State, so many different names for the college. K-State. I was real confused because Jim Boy said one thing, and then I looked at your profile and it was something else, and it's all the same, clearly. But Cody, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Hey, so let's talk quickly. Well, not quickly because we've got some time, but talk to me about your college a little bit and where you guys are located.
Okay. Yes, we're with Oklahoma State University. We are located in Stillwater, Oklahoma. It's north central Oklahoma. I-35 kind of divides Oklahoma east and west. We're about 15 miles east of I-35, just north of the center of Oklahoma. We're about an hour from Oklahoma City and an hour from Tulsa.
Perfect. So talk to me, what's the size of the community?
Stillwater is about 40,000 people.
Okay.
Including the student population. So it's a still college town type atmosphere, hometown type community. But it has a lot of the amenities that you want and need in a larger community.
Yeah, pretty similar to Casper. I mean, I think we're right at around 50, so
Sure.
Not too bad. So talk to me a little bit about the academics. What types of majors are you seeing some of your rodeo kids come in with? What is the school not famous for, but like what's one of the stronger academic paths that we could take if we were looking there?
Sure. There's lots of academic paths here at Oklahoma State. There's 5 colleges represented at the university. In our team, the College of Agriculture is number 1 still, but then we have a lot of students going through the engineering programs, everything from mechanical, electrical to chemical engineering. We have a lot of students going through our business. The Spears School of Business has been award-winning school for us as well, and everything else in between. At one point, I haven't checked it all out totally again, but we had every college represented on the teams that was offered here at the university. So,
wow. So kind of a unique atmosphere, I'd say, with the different colleges combined.
Yes, it's quite the blend. I mean, we've got everything from art students to production agriculture students. So it's a nice blend.
Yeah, for sure. So what would you say, I think you mentioned agriculture. What's the most offhanded major you've seen on the rodeo team?
Offhanded.
Yeah, kind of like not standard for a rodeo kid.
Sure. Not standard. I mean, I have a lot of engineering students come through. And then a few years ago, we had a student that was majoring in liberal arts, and she's got paintings all over the country now. So fantastic student and a great competitor too. So that was really interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. So I assume now with a college of your size, you guys offer housing. So if I'm an incoming freshman, is there any requirement for me to live on campus, or is that can I live off campus?
No, all of our freshmen are required to live on campus unless you're within a certain distance of the community. There's few exceptions, but there's very few of those that are. So for the most part, all freshmen are required to live on campus.
Yeah, and so those of you that have watched the broadcast before, you kind of know how I feel about it personally. I didn't live on campus, not at the junior college that I went to and not at the university that I went to. However, definitely something that I feel like I missed out. I missed out on that opportunity. So I encourage you to get over that fear of having a roommate. I think that's what it was for me. I did not want a roommate. And just do it. I mean, it's a great experience, a great way to meet kids, a great way to meet people that aren't on the rodeo team, because I feel like once you get there and you're involved in that rodeo program, then there is the opportunity for you to really not meet anyone else. You can just stick to your same little peeps there. So it's a good idea anyways, just to meet other kids. So that kind of leads us right into talk to me about the I guess the meal plans and what that might look like for incoming freshmen or even transfer students.
For sure. Meal plans are always available for students. Of course, if you're a freshman and living on campus, they're required.
Right.
We always recommend to our freshmen that are living on campus to get the minimum one that they'll allow you to get, just because with Rodeo, you're gone enough that you end up not using it all. And I don't know, like most colleges, at the end of the year, there's only so much they'll give back to you. So, but our campus is styled with all restaurant style food. There's no cafeterias anymore. So there's restaurants scattered out throughout campus. There's larger pods of them, obviously, in like a student union, or we have a North Dining Hall or whatever, but it's all smaller restaurants so that you can get a large variety of stuff to eat and you're not going back to the same cafeteria or same type of stuff all the time.
I don't know. I got the same chocolate donut every morning. So I'm a structure kind of person. So let's talk about the good stuff, the rodeo program. I'm going to go a little bit different direction. First, I want to say that we are kind of right in the meat of kind of recruiting season, or at least when kids would be coming around and doing tours of the campuses. Is your school allowing on-campus tours right now?
Yes, we are allowing on-campus tours. The tours are limited, of course, on size and how many students we can have each day. So we have to try to schedule those out as far as we can. In the past, somebody could call me and say, hey, I want to come tomorrow or the next day, and I could get them in pretty easily. But now we've got to make sure, about a week ahead of time, we need as much. That's about enough lead time there for us to make sure that we get you that tour.
And that's still pretty short notice. I mean, if anybody's traveling, then hopefully they've planned a little farther out in advance than that. So then we can talk a little bit about what do you guys have as far as application deadlines? When are those deadlines? Like if somebody is interested in coming there this fall, to start this fall, when is that application deadline?
So our next application deadline is February 1st, and that's our next scholarship priority application deadline for the entire university. So if you can get it in by February 1st, you'll be in the next group of students that we look at for scholarships, academic scholarships, need-based scholarships, all of that for the entire university and each individual college within that. That's the cutoff they come up with next. We will take applications for new students all the way up until July. But of course, then as we start to allocate money, it becomes less and less available.
Right. So then let's talk specific to your program. Do you still have scholarship money available for this next season?
Yes, some. It's getting very tight as we get more and more commitments, and we know which students are coming in that we've talked to, in the past and in the fall. It's getting less and less available. But yes, there is a little bit left available still.
So I do have, I'm kind of teetering around topic here, but how did it impact your organization, your program, to have seniors stay for that extra year? Or did it? And did you have some seniors that took advantage of that one more year of eligibility?
I'm noticing the bigger impact for me is going to be this next fall and the fall after. All of my seniors that were set to graduate went ahead and graduated and moved on because they had things lined up to move into the real world, I guess, so to speak. But, so they went ahead and moved on. But I have several students that now know that they have that extra year of eligibility that have decided to pick up a minor, a double major, that type of stuff, to where they can adjust and make sure that they get the most out of that extra year.
So I hadn't really even thought about that. I think my focus had been on those seniors and what that looked like, but I guess everybody got that free year, freshman or senior. So that, what a great opportunity to get, like you just said, like a minor, or add something to your academic studies that maybe you hadn't planned on before.
For sure.
Yeah. So
we got some students that are able to look at grad school now. You always get an extra year with grad school, but now if you've got that extra year and ready to move on right away, you can rodeo both years of grad school.
Yes. What a great opportunity. And kind of a double-edged sword there for the rodeo programs and coaches that are wanting to keep them around too. So has that changed how you raise money or how you are doling out money?
Both. Obviously, as far as the raising money, we know we need or want more because we have more students sticking around, which is a good thing. So we've upped our efforts to raise more money. And it's made things more difficult on how we award scholarships for the following years. We have to really make sure that everything fits with each student so that we know, that money is going to the students we need it to go to.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of almost have to be just a little bit more picky as to who you're giving that money out to. So it'll be interesting to see how this will impact the team races. Not so much in a junior college level, but for those four-year colleges that are able to keep those students for that much longer in the grad programs. It'll be fun to see how it plays out in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll be real interesting. There's
if it will.
And even if it will, will it make a large impact, or will it be, such few students that end up taking full advantage of that we don't really notice it here in a couple of years?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for that. I appreciate all that information. So let's talk about more specifically about the rodeo program itself. You did say you do have some rodeo scholarships available still. That commitment date, you kind of twirled around it a little bit. That commitment day is March 31st, correct?
March 1st is National Signing Day for NIRA.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is coming close. I mean, the next couple of months are going to move real fast. So if you're interested in this school or any school, signing day comes fast. And I would say that scholarship money after that, not that it won't be available, but it may be a little bit harder to come by because y'all are going to already have those commitments in.
For sure. Yeah, if we go beyond March, then it's really tough to make sure you've got money left over for somebody that didn't maybe know where they were going to start with.
Yeah, for sure. So talk to me a little bit about facilities and where you guys practice.
Sure. We're real fortunate. We have our own facility here at Oklahoma State. We're right off campus. I think I had a student map it the other day. We're about 1.5 miles from the main campus. So we're right here in town. So for students that have to live in the dorms and keep their horses here, we have stalls available to our competitive members. So you're 5 minutes from your horses or whatever when you need it. Really like our facilities. Of course, we're always trying to add more and do new things and that type of stuff, but very pleased with our facilities right now. We've got 3 arenas. We've got a covered arena, large outdoor arena, and then a calf lane. So we try to keep things moving pretty efficiently, but I think things work out really well with our facility. And then we've got what we call a rodeo activity center, kind of a break room, restrooms, that type of a building, shop, that type of building on facilities as well.
Wow, that sounds great. So let's talk, you touched a little bit on the boarding. Are there listen, I'm a barrel racer and a goat tire. Like I'm all the things, but my barrel horse needs a little bit more than a 10 by 10 space. Do you guys have runs or anything like that available?
Yes, we have some larger, small pastures, paddocks, whatever you want to call them. We've got a few of those. And then we've got 10 stalls that we just added that will have runs on them as well. The rest are all 12 by 12 stalls. So it's limited, but yes, we do have availability to get some horses out.
Perfect. And what is the cost to the student athletes to board their horses on site?
It's $150 per semester. So on a 4-month semester, that breaks down to between $30 and $40. So.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good price. And I would add, we board some horses for some college kids at our place, and they're constantly driving back and forth. In the summer, we have an arena they can ride in, but it just in the winter, which I'm not dumb, like winter there is substantially different than winter here, but it's still a very nice benefit to not have to travel to practice.
Yes, it is. Yes. Well, and just maybe winter isn't as bad, but we get a lot of rain here, and not having to get in and out of the rain and then the mud at your own place and stuff like that, hooking up and everything from time to time in the spring can be much nicer.
So that's funny. And I won't name names, but there might be some people that have boarded their horses at our place that aren't real good with their horse trailers just yet. So that is also a benefit.
Yes, it is.
Although it's good practice. It's really good practice. So let's talk about, do you guys have a set practice schedule and what does that look like?
Yes, we have a set practice schedule. We start every day at 3. And like I said, with the 3 arenas, we keep at least 2 going at the same time. So we're usually wrapped up by about 6:30 in the evenings. We schedule each event. And once I get all my students in and we know how many we have in each student, we kind of set that practice schedule and it rotates. It rotates on days of the week as well so that we can try to accommodate student schedules. At a university this size, classes can go a little later. And so we try to adjust that to where one student's not going to have a 4 o'clock class and miss the event that they're trying to practice on all week.
Yeah, and I assume that gets a little difficult the more kids you add and the many different colleges because everyone's kind of on their own schedule. And to expect them to be at that practice at that time can be difficult. So it's nice that you guys work with them a little bit.
Yeah, and we try to work with them and we practice every day, well, except for Fridays. We take Fridays off, but most of the time we're going somewhere, you know. Mm-hmm. So they have a lot of opportunity to make sure that they're at practice with the way we rotate through. So everybody gets the runs they need.
Perfect. So talk to me about stock. What kind of stock are you guys using? Do you lease? Do you own your own stock? Is it right there at the facility?
It's right here at the facility. It's a little bit of a mix between own, lease, and use, help, whatever.
Bring your own, yeah.
Bring your own type of deal. As far as, calves and stuff, we just keep what we need on hand and rotate through those. Same thing with bulldog and steers and rope and steers. Rough stock, we keep some here and we have other people bring in fresh stuff about every week, every other week. So it's kind of a rotation and a mix of everything.
Sounds good. And we already talked about scholarships. Talk to me a little bit about kind of off topic of your specific rodeo program, but talk to me about what rodeo looks like in your region right now. And what region are you guys in?
We're in the Central Plains, which is Oklahoma and Kansas. So we're just getting ready to kick our season off. Unfortunately, this region didn't have any rodeos last fall. We're trying to get 9 squeezed into this spring. So it's going to be a very hectic, very busy spring. It's going to be tough on the students, especially when we start, once we get going, we start with or finish with 8 in a row. And so stacking all those in on academics it's going to be pretty busy and pretty tough. Now, typically we have 4 in the fall and 6 in the spring. So it's a little better split. It's a little easier, to accommodate academics, but this spring's going to be pretty busy.
Yeah, for sure. So kind of looking on the bright side of things, I feel like not having those rodeos in the fall could give freshmen, any incoming freshmen, kind of almost a head start, like a chance to kind of wrap their minds around the college experience and get used to getting to class on time, getting homework turned in, kind of getting used to that stuff before they have to miss Thursday, Friday every week for 5 weeks or, whatever that schedule looks like. So I don't know, maybe there is a silver lining to that.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. And fortunately we were able to practice all fall. So we were able to keep them coming out here and did some inter-squad, inter-team jackpots and that type of stuff to keep them going. So you're right. Now they had a chance to learn how to handle themselves in school and go to class and make sure their academics are in order. And at the same time, make sure they're at practice and ready to go. So hopefully it will lead to a good spring. Kind of
a gentle break into adulthood, partial adulthood, I would say. Not quite there yet. And I would also add, I think it's great that you guys did the inter squad kind of competitions. I could see that it could be difficult to kind of keep them engaged and keep them on task and like, no, it's coming. The rodeo season is coming. We've got to stay prepared for it. So I think that's really cool that you guys were able to do that.
Yeah, I think it helped us a bunch. I think it was a long fall for a lot of schools in this region, us included. I mean, it was just a long time without being able to go to a college rodeo for sure.
One of the things I know, so I went to junior college at Powell at Northwest College here in Wyoming. And one year we did kind of I I mean, it was just a friendly competition, but we got one of the colleges in Riverton, Central Wyoming College, different region, but same state. And we did kind of a competition between the two schools that was really fun. And to be able to compete with kids that are outside of the region was also fun. And
Yeah.
everybody kind of knew each other anyways. So, did you guys ever consider doing stuff like that?
No, I didn't ever consider that, but that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
It seems like it'd be a lot of fun.
Well, and I think we had the benefit of being in a different region, and no matter who you ask, no matter what region, their region is the toughest,
Sure.
which we also experienced that. And so being able to get a school from a different region and kind of bring that competition, the competitors together was really fun too. So
Sure.
I don't know, maybe listen, hopefully we don't have to do this again. So
Right.
you don't have to have any creative ideas. So hopefully you don't have to worry about it. But it still was kind of something cool to do in the off season and keep your peeps engaged.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this spring. When do your guys' rodeos start?
February 18th is our first one. So
Oh my goodness.
a few
So
weeks,
coming up.
but it's coming up. Yes. And then we'll have 2 weeks off, and then we finish with 8 in a row to run out the semester.
So I realize it's kind of early and like a knock on wood, but I assume everything is set, everything is scheduled. I mean, you're going to get through the season without any hiccups. But if I'm going to assume that y'all have made these plans, like if something happens, this is what we'll do. If y'all can't have 9, or even any region can't make it to 10, like what happens? You just carry those rodeos in and you take the qualifiers from those rodeos?
Yes, Naira has let us know that we can have as few as 1 rodeo.
Oh, wow.
If everything comes together, there's no rule that says we have to have 10 or any other number. So if everything fell apart and you got at least 1 in, you could carry those.
You at least get 1.
The 3 that in each event that finished in that rodeo, you could take to the finals.
So are you anticipating anything different at the college finals?
At the finals?
Yeah.
I haven't been told of anything different to anticipate at the college finals at this point. I think they'll start to let us know what that looks like as we get closer. But, we do know in the rodeos in our region to expect a lot of COVID protocols to be put in place at each rodeo. Most of our rodeos are looking like it's going to be absolutely no fans, just competitors and coaches. So
obviously is better than
yeah,
I mean, obviously that's better than no rodeo, but they do play a role for sure.
For sure. Absolutely. And it's, a lot of them, it's part of putting on that rodeo and the revenue that you generate from selling tickets and stuff. So it can really cost and change how you pay for your rodeo.
Yeah. Changes that fundraising a little bit. Well, we do have a comment from Susie Rainey. I'm going to go ahead and show that across the bottom here. Best rodeo coach. Thanks, Susie, for watching. It's always nice to see the positive comments, I think. Well, do you have anything else you'd like to add about your program, or I don't know, anything?
I don't know. Is there anything we missed?
I'm trying to think. I don't think so. I made it down my list. Talked about, listen, every time we talk about meal plans, it makes me wonder, like, somebody needs to create that for the adult.
Right.
Like, I could use a meal plan right now. I feel like somebody needs to do that. No, I think we covered everything. Any suggestions or I guess tips for kids that are just starting, either just starting for this fall or maybe juniors that are just starting to look at colleges?
I think my biggest tip for people looking at colleges is make sure everything overall is the best fit for you. Find the school that has something that you're interested in studying, and then break that down to those schools, combine that with their rodeo program, and make sure it's the best fit for you. We're all out here trying to recruit the best students we can, but I want students that want to be here, bottom line. Once we get to that point, we just want to make sure it's students that want to come to OSU and be a part of our program.
Yeah, for sure. We've got another comment here, Doug Russer, with a high school junior wanting to college rodeo. These podcasts are very helpful. Thank you, Doug. That kind of was the goal, for sure. If your high school student has a college that they're interested in and we have not had them on, please just shoot me a message and we'll try to get them on. Thanks, Cody. I appreciate you talking about that fit. I mean, that's something that I have definitely seen so many different formats and structures, and how the programs are structured, but also how the practice is structured, whether there's organized workouts. I think I've seen so many different programs over the last year that it becomes so much more relevant to find a place that fits you. And I would also add, not only the place that fits you, but also the coach. You may not be aware of how much of an impact that coach is going to have on you or can have on you until you've gone through a rodeo program, or until you've gone through 2 years somewhere, or even a year. And because it's such a different experience than what you might have in high school, like maybe there's an advisor for your rodeo club in high school, but maybe not a specific coach. And so I think making sure that you're asking those questions is so, so important.
Oh, I agree. I think, one of the toughest things about college rodeo is we never do it like that. When we're high school rodeo and our junior rodeo, and it's mom or dad or aunt or uncle, or maybe a professional that we know down the road that has taught us, helped us. And when we go to practice, it's all about us and trying to learn that. And, you may have 2 or 3 other people there with you, but for the most part, there's not a big crowd. And now we're going to mix you all together from all over the country and try to have a good practice. So I think that fit is the biggest thing, that when you meet the students and you can meet the coach and get to know the university before you make that decision, I think that helps a bunch.
Well, and I think the older you get, listen, nobody wants to hear this when they're in high school or in college, but the older you get, the smarter you are. And like, I can look back now and see that maybe the program that I ended up in probably wasn't the best fit for me. It worked out great. And if I would have done a little bit more research or known myself a little bit better and known my own style, then I probably would have found a little bit better sync.
Sure.
And I think just making sure that you know how you want to be coached, and you know the style. If structure is where it's at for you, and you want to get up in the morning and you want to go to practice, or you want to go work out, and you need that more of a structured kind of feel, then look for that in your rodeo program and in the coach, because that's going to be where you're going to blossom the most.
For sure.
So, Cody, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. For those of you guys that are watching us live, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you watching, and I know that the coaches appreciate getting their information out. Again, I've already mentioned it. If you are looking at colleges, make sure. So listen, these days are going to come up fast. Some days application deadlines have already passed for some colleges. So make sure you're asking the right questions. Make sure you're asking when that application deadline is. Cody mentioned something really good. There are college deadlines. Each college might have scholarship deadlines coming up. You want to get in on those. There's so many scholarships out there, not just rodeo scholarships, but academic scholarships. Even if you don't think you're doing well academically, there's probably still some scholarships available. So make sure you're looking for those. What else? Oh, signing day. Make sure you guys are getting your butts in gear. Cody also mentioned this, that once signing day comes and goes, that the money may not be available, or as much money might not be available. So I would say it's kind of go time as far as recruiting and making those decisions. You might think it's early because you don't graduate till May, but it's really not. So let me know if there's any questions that I can answer. I know I got tasked with a question this last week, so I'm super excited to start looking into some information for that young person and their parents. And I think that's about it, man. I've kind of rambled on for a little bit, and I hate it when I do that, but I think it's just me. Cody, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, appreciate you coming on, and appreciate you sharing about your program. I want to give a shout out to CINCH Jeans. And then I also I am wearing clothes today from Painted Pony. It is a little boutique here in Casper, Wyoming. So if you are looking for something something that not 72 other people are going to be wearing, check out the little boutiques in your area. And I think that's it, man. We'll have something great for you next week. I don't have a college lined up, but I certainly will get one. And let's see if I can get all my cool stuff to work here. Again, we thank you guys so much for your time, and you guys have an awesome week.